What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode here of the Bengals Crypt podcast. Going to be just doing stat updates and predictions here for this Thanksgiving slate of games, or really the whole week, but yes. So, starting with Bengals all-time stats, Chase Brown has moved into 34th place with 786 yards. He passed Fred Willis, Kajani Carter, and Joe Burrow. And then Joe Burrow rushing yards, 756, 35th place. Passed Kajani Carter. Jamar Chase receiving yards, now at 4,773. He's in 10th place, passing Tim McGee. Tanner Hudson receiving yards, he's at 439 and 87th place. Passing Jess Phillips and Reggie Rembert. Andre Yoshivas, receiving yards, 390, 94th place. He passed Cody Core, Antonio Chapman, Rod Sherman, Kajana Carter, Jim Corbett, and Mike Gesicki. Chase Brown receiving yards, 363. He's in the 100th place, passing Jeremy Johnson, Craig East, and Cody Core. Jermaine Burton is now at 107 receiving yards, 157th place, passing Trent Taylor and Troy Sadowski. T. Higgins receiving touchdowns. He's now at 28, 13th place. Past James Brooks. Now these are the NFL all-time stats. Joe Burrow, passing yards, 17,111. He's in 145th place. He passed Jason Campbell, Elvis Gerbach, and Doug Williams. In passing touchdowns, Joe Burrow has 124, 117th place. Past Milt Plum, Mark Bolger, Deshaun Watson, thank God, Chris Miller, and Aaron Brooks. And this is going to be a very long list. Jamar Chase only had 2 touchdowns in that game 2 weeks ago against the Chargers. But he has now gotten to 41 receiving touchdowns, moving him in 220th place. Passing Brandon Stokely, Calvin Ridley. Sorry about that. Brandon Stokely, Calvin Ridley, Lewis Lips, Hunter Henry, Chris Godwin, Algie Crumpler, Jim Colclough, Nate Burleson, Deion Branch, Mark Bavaro, Danny Abramowicz. I have no idea. Jackie Smith, Marcus Pollard, Jim Mootschiller, Mercedes Lewis, Frank Lewis, Alfred Jenkins, Harrion Hill, Russ Francis, Braylon Edwards, Quinn Early, Boyd Dowler, Bernie Casey, Jerome Barkham, and Derek Alexander. Trey Hendrickson moving into 102nd place in sacks at 71, passing Yannick Ngakoue. So that's it for the stat update. Let us go into our predictions. Well, my predictions for this week. They did update the app, so it's going to look a little different. Bengals, Steelers. I got the Steelers on top in this one. Turn down my brightness a little bit. Got Steelers on top in this one. The Bengals are kind of just done for at this point. Bears versus Lions. I got the Lions. They're a heavy favorite here, as they should be. Giants and Cowboys. I've got the Cowboys with Danny DeVito probably not playing. Well, he's questionable to play. I don't know if he's going to play or whatnot, but with him even in question, it's definitely not boding well for them. Got the Packers over the Dolphins. I think this is going to be a good game, though. Really close. The Dolphins got themselves back on track for their season a little bit last week, so we'll see if they keep that going. Chiefs Raiders. I think we all know the answer to that one. The Chiefs are going to win that very handedly. Chargers Falcons. I feel like I've trusted the Falcons a little bit more than I should have this year. I've also underestimated them in a few scenarios, but with a really good defense, the Chargers are going to come out with a win here. Cardinals and Vikings. I'm going to go with the upset pick here. I'm going to go with the Cardinals getting the win over the Vikings. I think the Vikings are they flip too much. They're 9-2. They're doing really good, but I feel like the Cardinals are coming off into a loss against the Seahawks. They're going to want to get back on track. They're a fairly solid team, and I think they're going to be able to get that done against the Vikings. Colts and Patriots. I'm going to go with the Colts. I think the Patriots is another one of those teams that I've trusted a little bit more than I probably should have. They've proven that they're really not going to do much this year. They haven't given Drake May the weapons he needs to succeed yet. Hopefully they do, because I believe in Drake May, but we'll see. Jets Seahawks. I got the Seahawks. They pulled off the upset victory over the Cardinals last week, even though it was 6-18, wasn't too crazy. But the Jets are just the dumpster fire of a team this year, and Rodgers is, although he just said that he wants to play for the Jets next year, or that's his first option, but he said that he didn't want to play for them earlier, like 2 weeks ago. So I don't know if maybe that was a bad source, but who knows. The Titans and the Commanders is an interesting one, because the Titans just had that really big win against the Texans, and the Commanders have been in a bit of a slump. I'm going to go with the upset victory of the Titans here. Not sure if it's going to happen, but it's an interesting prospect to happen. But I do think the Texans will bounce back against the Jaguars. Jaguars are just another one of those really bad teams. They will probably be eliminated from the playoffs this week. No teams have been eliminated yet, but there are some teams that are definitely close. Saints Rams. Gonna go with the Rams. I think their early struggles were a lot to do with injuries, with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua out, and the Saints are just they got injuries themselves. I mean, they got Derek Carr back, but he's not the same as he was before he got hurt. So got the Bucks over Carolina. Carolina showed some good things last week against the Chiefs, but that just goes to prove my point that the Chiefs are not as good as everyone thinks, or even what the record shows. I've got Baltimore over the Eagles. Eagles, they did some good things last week, but every good team has to hit a slump eventually. And I think this is going to be where it begins. They kind of choked a lot of their late games last year against good opponents, so I am actually predicting them to do something similar here. 49ers versus Bills. I got the Bills winning this one. It's a snow game. It's at home. The 49ers are they're getting Brock Purdy back, but they're trying to find their identity through all the injuries. Even with getting Christian McCaffrey back, he's not playing at the same level as he normally would. Denver at Cleveland. I'm going to go. Honestly, the Broncos have been doing really good recently, but I'm going to go with the upset victory. Jameis Winston, after the snow victory last week, he's going to be riding high. I guess he's going to start doing some random weird speech every time he wins. Be looking forward to the next one because they're funny as hell. But that's going to do it for this one. Who did all you Bengals fans out there? I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.